Ben, I posited this to you during the first half of yesterday's game, and I'm not sure how you felt about it. I'm going to go ahead and go with it again because the players were asked this a couple of times yesterday in the various pressers in which you could actually hear. Do you chalk up any of the first half mistakes to a lack of play in the preseason?
Yeah, I do. 100%. I think that you need to have guys out there for more than just 10 or 15 snaps in the first quarter. And, it's you want your team to be as tested as possible. And you can do that a little bit in practice, but those are controlled environments. And this team needed to be tested not only from a Kubiak play calling, but the whole offensive line needed to be out there to communicate certain things. I mean, there was a time, we had that one on-air hit where Kirk comes over the sidelines to the offensive line, and he's talking to Brian O'Neill and the four other guys, and he's saying something like, "Hey, when they had this front, what did you guys do?" And Brian just kind of had this conversation, and O'Neill's like, "Well, we made this check." He's like, "Well, I can't hear you." And he's like, "Okay, well, did you make this check?" He's like, "Yeah, I can't hear you." So they're making checks on the offensive line in which the quarterback needs to know, and they don't have the communication down to figure that out in a loud environment. Now, you can do that in practice. You can have fake crowd noise, but it's just different. It's just different being out there in a game. And I know the argument is like, well, it doesn't get that loud in preseason in a preseason game, but you just never know. Some of these crowds were loud on third downs and whatever. So the point is, you need to be tested. They failed the pre-test in the preseason, and it's the reason why a lot of us didn't feel very comfortable going to this game. And sadly for everybody, it came to fruition.